Computer. Lights.
Good morning, everyone. I seem to have overcompensated with this light right here. I'm super bright now. Super bright. But it works. I mean, it's as good as a fill, but woo doggy. I'm going to have to go in and configure my video. Hang on real quick while I configure that. Because we need to turn down the gain. There we go. Better. And turn down the brightness a little. I mean, it works. The light works. It's filling very well. If I use the outside light as a key and this light now as a fill, it's all balanced. But whoo, I was bright for a minute there. I was super bright. All right. There we go. Look at us being normally lit. And reasonably so. I am reasonably well lit now. Instead of dark to one side, over here is kind of, I don't know, it's dark. So I'm not dark anymore. That's the important part. I'll bet you that I won't see Hone here because I'll bet you they haven't figured, because Thailand does not, in fact, go on daylight savings time. So this may be very complicated and weird. And so I'll be surprised if Hone drops in today. That's all right. We'll be here tomorrow and we'll be here forever and stuff. Okay. Let's get to work because we don't have a lot of time because today is a half show and then tomorrow is, and then at 10 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, now that we're on Daylight Time, Mountain Time tomorrow, well, we'll be doing the Geek Tank. So there's that. Okay, let's go to the monitor. So we got page 1 here. Look at page 1. I'm just going to go in, and all this page needs right now is a set of 20-point borders, and that's it. And then we'll put that in here. And then like so. And I'll go ahead and trim this border down. There we go. And clear this border here. And the Polaris has this long central warp unit, which I probably can erase down to about there and clear so that it's not doing that. But here are our spacecraft for this first one. We've got ourselves our Military Transport Command shuttle, which I've been working on all weekend. And a Polaris mock-up, because this actually isn't the Polaris. It's just the 3D model. She's not mapped. So I'm going to have to go in and map her at some point in time. But that's all right. We'll get there. I did add like lots of other things in here, like other ships and stuff like that, so that we've got kind of a feel that this is stuff is happening here on the Polaris. So we're going to go ahead and grab this pin, technical pin here, and we're just going to go in here on this layer and do dot, 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 because these will ultimately be dots. right? The Polaris is huge. So at some point, we will go on ahead and map out the Polaris and things like that. But for right now, we're going to just do it this way. If you are pinging me to ask me if I'm early or not, there we go. So these docking bays, which are right here. Good morning, Brent. Check out the Polaris. We finally get to see like the Polaris. And my bunny chip thing. I love this thing. This thing is like my favorite thing ever. I really dig the I'm getting a lot of messages all of a sudden. It's coming in from oh, so my buddy is trying his LCD screen went out on his printer and he needs to replace it because that's what LCD screens do. They ultimately just die off. So he's trying to replace it. And he's trying not to buy it from Anycubic because Anycubic wants $65 plus $50 shipping to send it. So it's $115. And he's like, you know what? No, on lots of levels. So he's finding better prices. Since we both have Photon S's, he's sending me all of them as well, which is great. Okay. You're probably Keylight. Octoprint. I have no idea what you're talking about. Unless you're making a joke. The resin printer, yeah, it's the resin printer. They're both Photon S's. He's got the same model printer I do. I mean, we have some other factors. He's in Melbourne, so depends on, I don't know. Just FDM. Why would you have a? Oh, I see what you're saying. A screen isn't a little LCD screen on the front. Gotcha. I am looking at this light right here and seeing whether it looks better. Let's see. He's saying he's searching it out and seeing what happens. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's take a look here real quickly. I don't really have time for playing around too much, but I don't know. Maybe at 100% is right. It's just very bright from this side because I've got definitely this light right here, but it equalizes the light from either side. So we get light. I'm no longer completely, when it was like this, I was just all shadow man over here. So now I've got this light, which seems to be doing really well to light up this side of my face. So, but since I'm using this as my fill, sometimes it'll be bright, sometimes it'll be dark. Depends on whether it's snowing outside or not. Let's see. That's right. Why, thank you very much. Yeah. So, okay, let's get back to work. All right, back to work. Slaves, me. Okay, so we've got this is full bleed on the top over here. There we go. And so I put a bunny and then I put hot and ready because that seems so much like something somebody would write on a military vessel. So anyway, okay, we got that. I mean, tell me that that's not something somebody would do. Somebody would do it. It would happen. They add a new raster layer here. There we go. And that will be our page with the webcomic full bleed. So this will be a full webcomic page right down to there. So that will help. Page 1, I think we're ready to go. The only thing is that I will have to at some point in time downgrade this blue. It's kind of a bummer, but that's all right. And what we'll end up with is that. Not as dramatic as when it's blue. But the comic's in black and white. That's the wall. So we kind of want to show that the wall is here. So what I might do is go in here with a little bit of white and my big soft brush here and just highlight a little bit more of this because we want the wall to show up more. Right? There we go. Just like that. And so okay, so there we go. There we go. There we go. That's probably more accurate. So let's put we want Not you. Not you. Where did I put the... Not you. Good heavens. Where did I put this thing? It's got to be underneath it. Yes? Is it on this literally? No. Is it here? That's where it is. Like, where did I put that thing? All right. Knowing that the Webtoons page is going to be longer, we kind of want to do something more like this. So there we go. Okay, page 1, down, save. That's clear. So we can then bring in page 2. Here, page 2. Take a look at page 2 and see where we are. And then take a look at the script. Text is standard on my setup here, and it's, I don't know why Guy Serious is the last one. I think we said 10. I don't know, because the background is on and it tells me the instructions of what this needs to be whenever we get there. 10 point, Guy Serious, 10 point, gotcha. Nothing out there. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. Then we'll bring this back up. Glad I didn't squish that. Okay. We're going to bring the script up. And we're going to put in copy. And then we're going to put that right here. That's what 10 point looks like. Oof. Hmm. 10 point might be too big. Let's see. 8 point. Let's give it a shot. And since it is chatter, it's radio chatter, we're going to do that. But we have to keep it. We're going to actually do something like this. And then we're going to bring in from over here. Come on, think it through. What are you doing? I don't have any favorites. Okay. Yeah, well, that's a thing. All right. I'll grab this guy here. Move him up like so. Food and weird foodiesness is the topic of today's Geek Tank. Thanks. Not helping much here. So that's the battle plan. I'm worried about how small I can make this. You're not helping at all. It's all right. You're not a problem not helping. That's not a problem. Don't worry about it. You have work to do. It's all good. I'm sitting here going, how small should I make this before it becomes unreadable? You're not a problem, my friend. You're not a problem at all. Don't worry. Yeah, maybe 7. No, dang it. I can't get it to go right. That's right. We'll just go here. Because that's still going to be pretty small, but not too small. I don't think that's too small to read. So I think we can probably safely go 7. I think is okay. So let's go on ahead and adjust that down. Cry. There's some good ones here. And then the pilot says, yes. Work. Number 4 to 44 starboard. Priority traffic clear at the marker. Beginning approach. And that's you. To show you. Work. And we will make you squishy. And we will de-squish the top part here. And squish the bottom part. I see we're just not going to play this game, are we? What I'll do is this.
Incoming call from Maya.
I just said that we can't do this. Okay, hang on, guys. Hey there.
Hey, I was just calling to say hi. I'm done with the doctor. I'm gonna go straight into it. So.
Oh, okay. You know you're calling in the middle of the show, just like I said, and now you're live.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I figured after discussing it this morning, it must be important, so I answered. I see. So there we go. Yep. I will talk to you then later. Love you. Bye-bye. Literally just had a discussion this morning with both of my family members saying, you can text me during the show and I'll read it, but if you call me, I won't answer because unless I think it's an emergency. And since we just had that discussion, we literally just had that discussion, I thought, oh, it's my wife. It must be an emergency. And she was calling to go, hi, I'm just calling to say I'm on my way to work and checking in. And I'm like, we literally just had this discussion like seconds ago. Oh, well. Sometimes my wife spaces stuff out. And she's okay, though. She's good. She's good peoples. Okay. Right. I know, right? I'm like, but okay. Okay. Back to work. I should. It is kind of irritating that these bubbles don't fit like they're supposed to. Although I pretty much discovered that anything that involves, oh, hey, I get handles if I do this. Oh, well, that's useful. Guys, this will be the first comic I have ever produced solely in Clip Studio Paint. So I'm going to end up going, oh, a lot, I think. Because I think there's also the way I can do tails in here too. If I go in here, I can do the tails, right? I'm going to add a tail here. Right, like that. And then if I go in here, I can Well, how did I get it that it did the editing thingy? Oh, come on. Really? Or is it the pen that I need? It's the pen. All right. Okay. That's fine. We can do pen. But you guys may have to remind me that it's the pen every time. I may go, why can't I click on this? What's so wrong? What's going on? You know. And you may have to go, it's the pen tool. Pen tool. And I'll be like, oh, it's the pen tool. We're totally in New Horizons here. Yeah, actually, she wants to be on Geek Tank at some point to discuss the characters having agency function, which we were talking on that. So I'm going to use the tail tool. Everything's going to be new today because I also kind of figured that no matter what, I was going to end up having to there we go. I figured that no matter which way you looked at it, today was going to have to be a day when we were working on all kinds of other things that, because we just didn't have to. See you in a sec. No, I really don't want that. Um, really, you're not helping. It all works beautifully until it doesn't. There we go. It lets me have the balloon editor sometimes with this controller. But I guess it's just the first time that you get the balloon editor because they assume you're forming it in like this. I do like one of the things that's going on here is it's adding the balloon to the text in the actual in this in here in the layers. So the layers are all they already have their balloons set, which is great. I dig that. There are some special people in the world. You know what? This was over in this frame, but I like it here better. So let's put it over here. Because he already looks and this is one of those you don't know why. Get close, right? And then I can go in. Put that up here. This makes this look a little bit more realistic, less weird. Like, why is he reacting that way? He's totally reacting that way because he made a faux pas. And this is a faux pas that people will get later on when they come back and reread this story because they're not going to get it right off the bat. Why? Why in the world is he? Why is it obvious that she was born in a home ship? But it's obvious to everybody that all Deistati are born on home ships, just not obvious to us. It's not going to be obvious to the audience, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. There we go. We missed a line. All right. There were 3 lines there. That's tight and crowded. I'm like sitting there going, everything would fit better if I put this other line on the other page. Well, yeah, true. However, there we go. We'll just make this a little bit flatter of a curve. We'll flatten the curve. Kind of confusing. So I'm going to make sure that this text bubble goes all the way across here because I don't want to confuse these 2 things. Actually, we're on the correct layer. Everything's all text layers at this point in time. So we've got a lot of weight right here on the page. I mean, if you look at this page as a whole, we have a huge amount of weight there, which means that I want to space these bubbles out a little bit more. Right? So we'll bring this down more because there's so much weight here. Right? Bring this down to here. Also, I think that's my safe over here. So let's take a look. Make sure, right? That's my text safe. So technically speaking, I really can't go past that. So we're going to have to take this layer and move him over because we're not supposed to be past this line. And we'll do that. Make sure that's secure. And then we'll do this. And what we really are going to do here is probably something else. We're going to take this frame and move it to here even though it's really close to Mayrel on this side. And I'm going to take this piece right here, and we're going to move it over here and do this. And that'll link these two. And then at some point in time, I'm going to have to come back and kill that line. But for right now, and these two are now linked. Already? But I like my time stuff thingy. You're right. Aw, Brent, but I don't want to go. I'm having so much fun. Gee, Dad. You're so mean. Yep, there's the ping from Troy. So, one of the other things I can do is go into this one here. I'm going to bring that up because I didn't know I could do this before, right? I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know I could do that. That's so cool, right? Let's bring this tighter. Now I know I can do this. It's not so prominent a thing. There. Now let's go ahead and just tighten this guy up. Just because we've already kind of done it with everybody else. There we go. There's work fun and there's podcast fun. There we go. That means I could probably edit. Oh, I can. There we go. And I can even kind of make this less spiky. It's spiky enough that you can tell what it is, but not so spiky that it needs to be like all over the place. Each bubble has a logic to it, right? All the bubbles have a logic to it. And so what we want to try to do is get kind of this logic going. So that's what we're after here. We've got one last line. There's the 10-minute warning on my side. Really need to adjust the default width of the tail, because I think the default width of the tail is inaccurate. There we go. And page 2 has text. Look at us doing our job. Page 1 and page 2 are down. The only thing that's left is green or gray work, which needs to kind of go in there. We kind of need to put some backgrounds and stuff. It'll be a little bit of work, but not that big of a job. So we'll go on ahead and do that. And we will get that figured out as well. And now this light turned green. So now I have a green tone to indicate that I'm supposed to be actually heading over to Geek Tank, which is what's going on next. The good news about this is we'll be able to see stuff like this. So, Hone, if you are popping in here, I'm sorry. They change our time all the time, twice a year, and it drives everybody crazy, and nobody understands anything, and we all hate each other, and then people start screaming, and then there's yelling and stuff. So, anyway, so I apologize if I missed you, Hone. But we'll be back tomorrow. Just be aware that we're going to be an hour earlier for the summer, and then it'll change again in November. And I don't know what to do about that. But the rest of the world works on that, or the rest of the world, at least locally, works on that. So it just confuses anybody outside the US, which doesn't seem to bother some people. They don't care. But it bothers me because I interact outside the US. However, until tomorrow, I got to go. So I will see you, Brent, in just a few minutes over on Geek Tank. And for the rest of you, join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Savings Time. And I'll see you then. And until then, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye. Computer, good night.